Hey y'all, it's so weird being back. Well, actually talking to the camera, but as you can see, I have a different background. That is something for a totally different video. I will explain all of that later. Also, my hands gonna be ashy. I wash. Why do I keep wanting to say I shampoo my hands? I wash my hands, and when you wash your hands, they're ashy. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing my makeup in a bonnet because I'm gonna be doing my hair in the next video, and that video is gonna be how I straighten and trim my hair. So y'all can stay tuned for that as well. Well, actually, I think I'm gonna post that video before I post this one, but it doesn't matter the order. Just letting y'all know things are a little bit different for me, so just bear with me. But I didn't want my background to stop, or I didn't want my life's changes to stop me from making videos, because that wouldn't be fair to y'all. And I had stopped for a while, so let's get back into it. All right, so for my skin, now a lot of people have makeup routines. A lot of people's makeup routines are the same. A lot of those people that post their makeup routines on YouTube and on all other social media platforms don't have problem skin like I do. They don't have acne and dark marks and all of that. They just have a clear canvas to work with. So I'm gonna come here and show y'all what I've been doing lately to cover my blemishes on a daily, or to, you know, just put my makeup on. So the first thing, where are my beauty blenders? Okay, so the first thing I want to do is make sure that my hands are clean. I did just say that I wash my hands. Well, I don't know if I said it in this intro because I did like 5 intros. But my hands are always ashy when I record videos about my hair or my skin, because I always wash my hands before I come and start recording. However, I wash my hands, but I came and I've been touching on things, and I just feel like I don't need extra germs added to my face. So I'm going to use my portable sanitizer. This video is not sponsored. I keep this on my keychain, and you know, in case I need it. So sanitize my hands. That's the very first thing that I'm going to be doing for my makeup application. Generally, I just wash my hands, but because I'm recording, sanitize after washing. Hands still gonna be ashy, just so y'all know. So the next thing is I have my beauty blender. I always start off with clean beauty blenders. I wash my beauty blenders with dish detergent and alcohol. Like, I need all the germs to be out. So let's just be quiet, and I'm gonna talk y'all through what I do. I'm gonna be quiet and talk y'all through. Just bear with me. So anyway, got this beauty blender, got my foundation. The foundation I'm using is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, and usually I use Fenty. A lot of people don't have Fenty. Some people don't have Fenty money. So I'm going to be demonstrating with this NYX. This is a matte foundation, and I probably would be demonstrating with Fenty if I didn't use it all. Like, I've already gone through 2 bottles, and I need to get another one. But anyway, I start off by pumping one onto my beauty blender. Sometimes I use a brush. Sometimes I use my blender for my whole face. But I'm using this. I got this beauty blender from Sephora, and it was cheaper. I think this beauty blender was $12 versus the $20 beauty blender, and it still does fairly well. So I'm going to start by applying half and half. I try to on each side, so that it's not more on one side, or, you know, it's easier to cover. And I just pat this in. I did not use any concealer. As you can see, once that is on my skin, that I do have a few pimples, of course, as I usually do. So that was 2 pumps. Well, it was actually 1.5 because the first pump didn't come all the way out. But I'm going to do 1 more pump of that foundation. And that's it. That's all I should need. I'm going to get it on the areas that I kind of couldn't cover. I always try to get my jawline so it won't be that much of a line of demarcation. Okay, so that is pretty much the biggest job that we had to do. Now I take my concealer, and I do still use the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I'm using the color Fawn. This is the color that I always use for my highlight areas. Not really much has changed. I'm going to tell y'all the thing or things that have changed as I get to them. That's it. Well, one thing that changed was I didn't conceal my dark marks before applying my foundation. Then I'm patting. This makes me not look dead anymore. And when I do my concealer, I do go over my lid as well. Okay, so now I'm going to use the other side where I put the foundation on, and I'm going to go around the lines that I just put concealer on so that we can blend it out better. There we go. Now before my concealer starts creasing, I'm going to be setting it. I do use the Mercier setting powder. And this is just I actually got the travel size. I don't even know if this was in my last video or not, the travel size, but that's all I get when I go to Sephora. Depending on how much other things that I get, and usually I do get a lot of other things at Sephora, so the only thing that's in my budget at that point after that will be the travel size. Now if I just go to get maybe 1 or 2, nothing in Sephora is inexpensive, but if I just go to get like 1 or 2 less expensive things, then I probably could afford the full size of the Mercier. But we're gonna work with what we have. Okay? So I'm setting all of the areas that I put the concealer. Setting all the areas I put the concealer on. Now I look brighter. So after, oh my gosh, I'm destroying things. Now after I concealed and set my skin, depending on how your eyebrows are, you can leave your eyebrows if you want to, but me, I like to fill in my eyebrows just a little bit. And I'm going to be using the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit, and this color, I think I got it in the color dark brown. I don't see the color on here, or number 5. I think they go by numbers. I don't know. This is my first time buying this particular brow pencil. The one I had before this was by Anastasia, and I like that one. This one I like too. So start off by just pretty much going. Now you can do hair-like strokes if you would like to. It just depends on how you like to fill in your eyebrows. But I do the quickest, easiest way I can do, because usually when I'm doing my makeup like this, it's just so I can get it done and go to work. And if I wasn't talking y'all through this, it probably would take me, I would say, maybe no more than 10 minutes to do my whole face. Because as you saw, the most time it takes is to do your foundation, so you can make sure that, you know, your blemishes and dark marks are all covered up and everything. So I pretty much just do my eyebrows in the most simplest way. I don't even use concealer underneath unless my eyebrows are just not tamed at all and I need a wax or shave or whatever. Okay, so that's it. That's all to my brows. I do go in with the other side. Now this pen, I'm gonna show y'all the pencil. I guess that would be smart. Show y'all what it looks like. This is the side that you use to fill it in. And then this is the side here. I'll just open it this way. This is the side that you use to brush your brows out, blend them out, or whatever you're gonna do with them. And we're gonna do that now. The only part that I really brush is like the front part. And then I brush my hairs upward so it doesn't look too fake. Same thing on the other side. And that's it. And no, it's not perfect, but this is the everyday look. Like, your natural brows are not perfect. Well, yours might be, but mine aren't. After that, I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown bronzing powder. And this is in the color Deep. And so, clean brush, of course. And I'm just going to go in it circular motions. And this is going to be kind of like my little contour area. This is where you pretty much want to put bronzer on, where you want it to be a little bit darker. Ooh, it's showing up really well on the camera, but not really in person. You can see it way better on camera than you can in person. So after I bronze the hollows of my cheek, I also do my forehead. Wow, that's showing up really well on camera. That's crazy. Okay. If you watch my other video on my makeup routine for acne-prone skin, then so far, can y'all tell the difference of what I did differently? I'll list that video here if you have not seen it. But if you can't, then what I do differently now, the main thing is, instead of using powder to set my face, I don't use anything because I don't need it. And it just depends on, it all depends on the type of makeup that you use. Now, if you're going to use a dewy makeup, you're probably definitely going to need a setting powder to keep that in place. But I try to use matte foundations and things where I don't need extra makeup to keep it in place. And that's why I love the Fenty Beauty so much. Like, I'm talking about nothing in this video is sponsored. No product, no anything that I've shown you. Nobody sent this to me and asked me to review. This is just based on what I have been using and what is working for me. Now, as far as my breakouts, I'm not getting breakouts because of the makeup. I'm getting my breakouts because I'm not eating what I'm supposed to eat, and I'm not drinking water like I'm supposed to. So the next thing is to put my mascara on. Sometimes I do go days without even putting on mascara. Sometimes I put mascara just on the top and not on the bottom. I think that's going to be what I'm going to do today. I'm not putting mascara on the bottom. I don't use liner. Daily, I don't even highlight. Like, as far as the shimmery highlight, I don't even do that every day. I just put my foundation on, highlight the areas that need highlighting, set those areas, and then contour bronze. So that's it there. So pretty much this is it right here. It was very simple. 10 minutes it takes me every morning generally, and I'm done. So the main difference, again, I'm just going to reiterate, the main difference that I do now that I didn't do before, or that I did then and don't do now, is that I don't use powder. Any kind of powder, I just use the foundation, because if you think about it, Fenty didn't come with a pressed powder. You know what I'm saying? When she first came out with that product, it was just the foundation and the blotting powder. It wasn't a pressed powder. You know what I'm saying? So I actually got that tip from my my holistic esthetician told me not to use powder. So I tried it and it actually worked. So throughout the day, yeah, I get oily because I have oily skin, but it's not, you know, it's not something that you feel like, oh my gosh, you just a greasy mess. You have to blot throughout the day, especially if you're wearing makeup for 8 hours, okay? So what lip, I don't know what I'm gonna do for my lips. Okay, so I'm going dark for my lips because it's fall. Well, it's actually winter, but is it really winter? Okay. The liner that I just used is the NK Auto Eye Liner. I don't use this for my eyes though. I strictly use this for my lips. It's in the color light brown. Though I probably should have used a dark brown, but I thought that was dark brown, which is why I picked it up. But it's okay. I'm using MAC, M-A-C lipstick, and this is in the color Antique Velvet. And that's it. Now, I'm gonna go do my hair, and I'll come back to y'all so y'all can see the full final result. But right now, my hair is looking a hot mess. I'm about to straighten it, and y'all check that video out as well. So, I'm gonna see y'all in my next video. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you new people that have come to my channel. Thank you new supporters that have come to my channel. I welcome you all. Come. And thank you all for the ones that have been there as well. So I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace out.